Hi, hello and welcome back to F1 Challenge VB. My name is Mephisto and our journey through the history of Formula 1 continues today with the 5th round of the 1956 season, the French Grand Prix. It was held on the 1st of July, it had 20 entries, 19 of them took part in the race and there were 8 retirements. The race consisted of 61 laps, completed in 2 hours, 34 minutes and 23 seconds. Fangio started from pole with Castellotti in second, Collins third, Harry Schell fourth and Colin Chapman, yes, the Colin Chapman, the mastermind behind some of the best Formula 1 cars, started from 5th in what would be his one and only Grand Prix. Peter Collins drove an absolutely amazing race to victory, with Castellotti coming in second, 0.3 seconds behind. Berra finished in third and was 1 minute 29.9 seconds down. Fangio finished in fourth and was 1 minute 35.1 seconds down. Finally, Cesare Perdisa gave his car to Stirling Moss, who crossed the line in 5th, he was 2 laps behind. Juan Manuel Fangio posted the fastest lap of the race, it was done in 2 minutes 25.8 seconds. And here we are once again in Reims for the French Grand Prix, where a lap starts off with a long run down into turn 1, a long open right-hander. This is followed by a long straight, then comes turn 2, another long right-hander, followed almost immediately by turn 3, a long open left-hander. This leads into turn 4, a tight right-hand hairpin. That brings us onto the longest straight on the circuit. This culminates in yet another right-hand hairpin. This one can be quite deceiving and you need to brake a bit earlier than you'd think. But this brings us back onto the main straight, and that is a lap around the Reims circuit. And here we are in qualifying for the French Grand Prix, coming around to set our first timed lap of the session, a 2:31 point something, I missed that. Then we set a 2:29.371, which was an improvement, then a 2:29.326, yet another improvement. Later still I managed to post a 2:27.6, which went even better, and finally a 2:27.09, which is the fastest of the session I could post. I couldn't do anything more, but that was quite a good session in my opinion. And here are the previous French Grand Prix winners. As we start our grid walk, we have Stirling Moss on pole with Juan Manuel Fangio in second, Jean Berra third, André Pilet fourth, and rounding off the top 5 is Paul Frère, followed by our guy Andy Higgs in 6th, very well done for him. Paco Godet is 7th, 8th is held by Peter Collins in the Ferrari. Luigi Musso is 9th, Alfonso de Portago is 10th. I was thinking Andrea de Adamici for some reason. Fairman 11th, 12th Villoresi, 13th Cesare Perdisa, 14th is held by Hermano da Silva Ramos. Gerino Gerini is in 15th. 16th is held by Harry Schell, followed by Louis Rosier in 17th. Horace Gould is 18th. Ronald Flockhart is 19th. Castellotti 20th, and Mike Hawthorne in absolutely awful qualifying, 6 seconds slower than 20th. So that's quite bad for Hawthorne. Hopefully he can pull it somehow in the race. But we are off, and that's an absolutely dreadful start on my end. A bit of wheel spin, but that's not the worst part of it. The part is that I didn't really have enough pull in my engine to take me off. So we fall down to 14th, as I'm now trying to be cautious coming through this right-hander, because I know that people are going to crash, and there it. Just as I thought, someone did indeed crash through that corner. And here is another look at the start. And there you can see a big puff of smoke coming off my rear tires. But again, that wasn't why I didn't gain a lot of positions. For some reason, my engine just didn't want to pull, so I ended up losing a whole bunch of positions in just a few hundred meters. So not the best start, but hopefully we can catch up in the coming laps. And here is a replay of André Pilet in the yellow Ferrari, who loses control of his car and crashes into the world's toughest wheat field, loses his front left, and he's out of the race. A lot of world toughest wheat fields in these on these circuits. Anyway, this is now lap 2 and we are about to overtake Louis Rosier in the blue Maserati. Indeed we do. Next is Eugenio Castellotti, who is about half a second in front of us, and a few seconds later on the same straight we managed to just about, yes, we do it, we move up into 13th, which is absolutely amazing. Lap 4 now, and we are just about to overtake Gerino Gerini, and that's a nice maneuver on the outside there, so very nicely done. And this is Peter Collins losing control of his Ferrari, coming through the first hairpin there, tries to get back somehow but actually gets stuck instead, so that's the end of his French Grand Prix. Lap 5 now, and we are just about to overtake Castellotti once again, so we move up into 11th, chasing after Jack Furman. And here is another replay. This is Juan Manuel Fangio coming through that same hairpin, loses control of the Ferrari, then tries to turn it back around, however crashes his car into the milestone, loses his front left, and he's out of the race. As we come around to finish lap 5, Eugenio Castellotti manages to pull in front of us at the end of the straight. However, I kind of do an aggressive move there, spin him around, but he is thankfully still in the race at this point, so no hard feelings yet. Lap 6, and I'm just about to overtake Jack Furman now, and we do it quite nicely once again on the outside. Now chasing after Horace Gould, who is about 3 seconds up the road, and here is Mike Hawthorne losing control of his BRM, coming into the first hairpin there. He tries to I think he's trying at least to bring it back around, but however instead he gets stuck. And now we overtake Horace Gould on lap 7. Up next is Cesare Perdisa, who we overtake a few seconds later, so we move up into 8th. Harry Schell is next in his BRM. Hopefully we can catch him as well as we come into the hairpin, the last hairpin, and I kind of break a little bit too late, end up going very deep, and after a very long time I managed to get myself unstuck. Unfortunately we fall down to 15th, so we did lose a whole lot of positions, but oh well. And on the very next lap, Alfonso de Portago managed to retire from the race. He lost control of his Ferrari, then tried to get back. However, Jack Furman in the I forgot what he's driving. Regardless, Jack Furman crashed into Alfonso de Portago and taking both of the drivers out of the race, so that's the end of their race. And on lap 9 it started to rain, which was, well, a bit unexpected, and one lap later, lap 10, well, the beginning of lap 11, a whole bunch of cars went into the pits to retire, and here they are. First we see Perdisa in the first of the Maseratis there, crashing into the BRM. Next, then we have Harry Schell in the BRM, who drives into the Maserati in front of him and almost drives under it. And finally we have Horace Gould in the Maserati at the very back of that pack there. And well, because they kind of shuffled each other around, they ended up retiring from the race, because this happens even in the original game when there's a car in the pits and it gets moved, they generally end up retiring. So whatever. We are now on lap 11, chasing after Paco Godia. We are in 9th place, so doing quite well. Lap 12 and still chasing after Paco Godia, not making too much headway, but hopefully we'll do eventually. And this is Eugenio Castellotti coming through the final hairpin, loses control of his Ferrari, then turns it around but decides that he doesn't want to use the roads, and so ends up having to retire from the race. And there we have him. I'm not really sure what he was trying to go for there, but so that he is out, and we move up into 7th place. we just started lap 14 and we get past a couple of cars who were in the pits as well. The rain has stopped, by the way, so that's good. On lap 14 we catch up to Da Silva Ramos and pass him for third place, so we are quite well, doing very well. Lap 15 and we see Sterling Moss there pulling into the pits and we move into second place. And to be honest, I felt that I had a kind of an unfair advantage here because some of the AI did actually come back out of the pit, so I decided that despite the fact that I didn't have to pit, I had enough fuel to go all the way to the end of the race. I really felt bad for the AI, at least for the AI that actually pitted and went back out, so I decided to come into the pits even though I didn't have to, and give the AI a fighting chance, because again I had an unfair advantage. I could have taken second position, I could have taken 6 points, but I think this is a lot better. And I'm driving slowly because there is a pit limiter on this track for some reason, I don't know why, and I don't want to have to come in again. So there we go. On lap 9, towards the end of lap 19, I finally catch up to Da Silva Ramos and pass him for 6th place. Next, although he overtakes me into this hairpin, he can brake a lot later than me, but just as we start lap 20, I overtake him once again, and this time I make sure that he stays behind me. Sterling Moss would be next, but there wasn't enough time to catch up to him, so we end up finishing the race in 6th place. Mostly due to the fact that I wanted to give the AI a fair chance at doing something, and here we see the race results. We finished in 6th, just outside the points. I'm not all that sad about it. And here are the retirements, 10 of them in fact, so 11 people finished the race, which is most of the racers out of 21, so that was quite a good race, I would say. If only most races would end up like this, but unfortunately they don't. So, but yeah, that was quite a good race. I enjoyed it, even though I gave up my second position willingly. I still felt that it was a good race, and well, I had fun for a change, so that's good, I guess. Anyway, here are the career statistics, and this was Andy's 54th Grand Prix. His best start is first, has 3 pole positions, has set 10 fastest laps, his best finishes in first, has completed 36 races, 32 of them in the points, has won 20 Grand Prix, 4 of them at the Indianapolis 500, 2 at the Monaco Grand Prix, has 4 championships under his belt, has scored a total of 215 points, has retired 18 times, has experienced 1,236 out of 1,536 laps, has 5 bronze trophies, 3 silver trophies, 20 gold trophies, and as an extension 20 podiums. And here is a very quick look at the championship standings. Jean Berra manages to take the lead of the championship. We drop down to second, Sterling Moss is third, Paul Fer fourth, and Luigi Villoresi down in fifth, with Louis Rosier being the last person scoring points. He is in 10th, and at the very bottom of the standings we have Alfonso de Portago, who every single time I want to call Andrea de Adamic for some freaking reason, I don't know why. But yeah, so that was the 1956 French Grand Prix. Quite a good result, I would say, better than what I expected, better than what we saw in the first 3 races in this season, so I'm quite happy. I'm really hoping that the remaining 3 races will go the same way the Belgian and French Grand Prix went. That would be very, very amazing, but I'm not holding my hopes too high for that. But anyway, our next race is the British Grand Prix, back at Silverstone this time, so a familiar track, we know it, we should do well there, hopefully. And well, yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Again, I had fun, it was a good race. A fair amount of people managed to finish the race, which added to the enjoyment overall, so that's good. But anyway, Don't forget to vote for next season's team, link is in the description. I also have a second channel where at the moment I'm doing a let's play of the original Need for Speed Underground, so if you're interested in that, there's a link in the description to that as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, stay sharp.